Hello everybody and welcome to another Alfred Hitchcock Presents review. Today it is Season 1 Episode 21, Safe Conduct, starring Trevor as Mary Prescott and Jacques Bergerac as Yann. And this is a solid episode, mostly due to the believable chemistry between the two leads. The acting is very good and it feels like they do develop a sincere relationship. I do have a few questions about some of the plot elements in the second half of the episode, but overall I feel like this is a solid episode worth watching. So we start with one of our lead characters, Mary, and we learn she's an American writer, and she's on a train to go back home, and she's been writing articles about where she is, and two men come in to check her tickets, which seems pretty standard, and she seems very welcome there. She had permission to be there, and there don't seem to be any problems. We're also briefly introduced to our other main character, Yann, here, and Mary asks about him, and it turns out he's a great soccer player, one of the greatest in the world, and that's why he's so known. So we go to the next scene, and Yann introduces himself to Mary, and, they get to know each other a little bit, which is good, and he says he wants to buy some clothes for her sister who's ill in the hospital and all the stores are closed and he won't have any money basically when they go to the next country. So he asks to buy something from Mary, which seems a little bit odd. He also is very critical of some of the rules and regulations going on during this time in history. And she's very nice about it. She gives him something and all she asks for is a signed picture. So they have dinner together and we get a soccer story, which was okay. And we're also introduced to another important character who says he's a professor doing medical research. And he acts friendly enough, but we're not really sure about his motives. I thought the episode did a nice job of making us unsure about this character, who will be important later on. So we go to the next scene, and kind of abruptly, Yann gives Mary this note about where his sister is. He says, "You might need this because I may be taken off the train." Mary thinks this is strange and asks him why, and he shows her this watch. He says it's an old family watch, but due to regulations, he's not allowed to take it out of the country, but he needs to sell it to help his sister with her medical expenses, I guess is the reason. So Mary takes the watch from him. She says, "I'll help you," which is very nice, if maybe a little too trusting. And she says she'll wear it, because that way, even if they search her stuff, by some off chance, they'll never suspect, it would be on her. So Yann lets her have it. He trusts her with this, which is very important. So we go to the next scene, and they come to check Mary's passport, and everything seems okay. It seems like she's going to get away with this just fine. But that's until Yann comes in, and he gives her away. He says she's smuggling the watch. He says to stop her. And this part was okay, I guess. I wasn't sure I really believed John here. His performance wasn't necessarily that convincing, but it works out okay. So Mary's obviously very, very upset about this. She says she's been tricked, and then they basically interrogate her, and she says this is some kind of plot to discredit her. She's not sure what's going on. So Mary and Yann are taken to this area. They call it detention, I think is what they actually call it. And the professor's also there. He says he's also in trouble. They think he's trying to escape the country. So the professor's taken out of the room, and we learn he's in on this whole thing. He's a captain or something. I guess he was undercover. Wasn't made 100% clear, but I think that's what's going on here. So when they inspect the watch further, they find out that the jewels are not real on them, and they think they're being tricked by Mary to make them look bad for the American papers. So they very quickly put her back on the train and give her the watch back. So Yann comes in, and of course Mary would love to hear this explanation, and Yann explains he's part of some underground movement, and this was all part of his plan. It was a diversion so that Yann wouldn't be searched, which worked, and he pulls this microfilm, which is just a plot device that comes out of nowhere, and explains it's the diary of some bishop. It's the last year of his life, and he gives Mary the film for a story. So here's where I do question the plot just a little bit. Yann says this was the safest way to execute this plan, and it was also the safest way for Mary. But what if by some chance they wouldn't have figured out that the watch was a fake? What if they would have thought it was real? She could have been in some pretty big trouble here. And also, what if Yann would have been searched? There was no guarantee that he wouldn't be searched. He didn't know how thorough they were going to be. It just seems like there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong here. But everything works out, so I guess it's fine. I just thought some of the reasoning there was a little strange for something that's this important. But it's fine, because the most important part of this episode, in my opinion, is to believe that the two lead characters have a sincere respect and a friendship with each other, and that does come through here. So overall, I give Safe Conduct a 3 out of 5. An episode with solid acting, worth watching at least once. So a 3 out of 5 for Safe Conduct, and as always, thank you very much for watching.